everybody is well. It is good to see you. I guess the folks who were here for my Saturday stream, did I do a Saturday stream? Sorry, Friday. One of those days. Will be happy to know I found new batteries for my car mouse, so now it has little lights, and their lights are on. Or his lights are on again, and it's still in blue camo, which is the best color ever. Anyway, good to see all of you. I hope everyone's doing well. Hello, Jim. I saw you were here early, as well as Jana and Shanna, and that's not a tongue twister. And Elizabeth was dropped by as well. We did a live this week and worked on some Halloween cards. Actually, I can grab one and show you what they looked like. Maybe. Oh, I can show you this other card too. Not that card. This card. So Elizabeth in my live mentioned this card, which is fantastic. Which I guess we were on her channel, her live, not my live, the live with me in it. But this is the fantastic blue flower card. In case you were wondering, I made a whole bunch of these. If you would like a Halloween card, feel free to join Elizabeth's swap. It's not a swap, it's a rack, which is like a swap, but only without rules. Anyway, you can see her popped up right now. You can go and check out her channel and do all those things, and look how cute that is. Oh, hello, Crafty Stamp Co. It is great to see you. I'll assume this is either Christina or Meadow. It is always fun. Let me unpin you. Speaking of Crafty Stamp Co., they are at some point doing some really cool stuff, but I will show you the card we worked on Friday, actually, because it's pretty neat, and it's one of those cards that didn't... It photographed in a weird way, which cards like to do. If I can... There we go. So this is the closed card, but it's another one of these trifolds like the gingerbread. So this guy pops up. Unfortunately, these stamp sets are in paper are in the Crafty Stamp Co. vault at this point. But several of you shopped with my referral link, which I very much appreciate. We may do another one of these at some point, because I actually found out that like the easy way to make these stick is if you use a piece of foam tape and then put your cardstock over it. Like if you actually back this up a little bit and have like a little groovy for it to sit in, that is works pretty well. I love this cat. I love these little animals because they're really fun to just, you can have them perched on whenever you want. Anyway, if you pick that up, congrats. If not, it is in the vault for a while and it will be back out at some point. But I do too. It was a fun one to make, and I love the little animals because you can just sort of have them wherever. Like it doesn't necessarily need to be a colored image, because obviously I did the bust that's more of a larger colored image, but like this is just a little, like he's basically two colors, right? Or she, and then you can just hang him off of the large sentiments. Anyway. What are we? We did not get any specific Happy Meal to talk about, I don't think. Although I will, I did have a, this is somewhat off topic, but I did have a welcome for me and other new members at church today. And there was a really cute cake, which here's the cute cake. If you're interested in cute cakes, it was very delicious. It was carrot cake, which is one of my favorite cakes. Anyway. That has very little to do with crafting, but I thought I would share because it's a little chatty and a little fun. And we have some paper here, and I thought we'd work on our craft roulette card for this week because I haven't done it yet. And it was sort of an interesting mix of parameters. We had a Thinking of You card, which basically... I'm going to cheat and make maybe a Halloween sentiment, but you know, I enjoy Halloween quite a lot. Yeah, I think there's something awesome about a not overly sweet cake. I like desserts that taste like something that's not sugar. I also have issues with marshmallows, but that's neither here nor there. But luckily, there were no marshmallows on the carrot cake. Actually, I can't think of a cake with marshmallows, but... some of the frosting is almost like a marshmallow in terms of it tasting like sugar and nothing else. What was I saying? Oh yeah. So the craft roulette parameters this week are, I think you have U card, which can mean almost anything as long as it's not like a dedicated season, and hometown colors, which I'm going to sort of plagiarize and assume is fall for my own personal desires, because you see the paper I pulled. Ooh, and Danny's here. Nice to see you. Glass or drinking vessel, we'll get to that. And then a doodle of some sort, which I'm probably just going to doodle around the inside piece that we do, because I think we're going to need to do a craft card base, because craft is the best color ever. But let me see. I just ordered. Ooh, Lemon is a lovely birthday. That Lemon is a nice cake too. Actually, there was a really good. I made it many years ago for my folks when I was really into baking, but it was effectively a carrot cake, but like the carrots were more finely chopped up, so they weren't really a thing in the final cake. So it was much more of like a spice cake, and there was a lot of ginger in it. It was really nice. Anyway, happy birthday, Danny, if I did not say that. Well, I mean, we can always celebrate early. I mean, we don't do enough celebrating, so celebrating is a good thing to do. We always like celebrating. So the glass made me think of this die set, which I've never used, that I bought because it was in the Weekender at some point, but I'm not planning to use any of the stuff here. So you get all your reflections and whatnot, but you actually get a like big piece. So I'm thinking we're going to cheat and use pattern paper because we like that. But I do like this idea of a flag sentiment on the straw. I don't know why we have a straw with just an end. So we have a straw with an end, and then we have a straw. We might do. I think we can get away with a single layer of straw. But I had a bunch of leftover. I think it's old now, Stampin' Up! Paper that had some nice watercolory things, and I like this kind of stuff because it looks like, a whatever you call it, the boga, the out of focused background on if you take a picture of something. I'm thinking we'll have glass with out of focus background, and we'll have to figure out a sentiment. Oh, a stir stick. That's a good. Oh, you're right. It is a stir stick, like in a cocktail. That's a good. That is a good thing, and because it's got the little glue. I mean, it looks like the stir stick is actually embossed, so it looks like a stir stick. But you could also put a thing of your choice over it if you wanted it to be like a stir stick with a icon of some sort on it, like a flamingo or a whatever. This actually was a freebie from scrapbook.com, but I've been interested to use it because a lot of people are really fans of Mintai papers, especially Lala, who I don't think is here. It's a 6x8, which is nice. The only thing that's not nice about it is these beautiful papers are on the back side of all the cut aparts, but we can probably live with that. But I was thinking we could take one of these and make it sort of a vignette. I kind of lean towards this one, but we could also use the one that's on the back of the cover and just sort of crop it. I don't know. We'll probably. I still like this one, but we lose all the cute. We lose cute critters. Here's hopefully there's a duplicate. We also have that. That one I don't like as much. There are a lot of these leaf ones. Oh, and we have a duplicate. We have 1, 2, 3. I guess we get 4. Yeah, we get 4 of everything, so that's fine. And these would be really easy to scan and cut apart. I'm not planning to do that, but I think we can make our glass piece sort of the horizon and just sort of punch it out. And we'll still mangle some critters in the process, but that's fine. And then in terms of a thinking of you sentiment, the one I like best, because I love Halloween, is this one that says, Happy Boo from me to you, which isn't technically thinking of you, but it's pretty close. This is my favorite sentiment ever, which says, whatever spices your pumpkin and is well used. Not that everything has to be Halloween. I just think it fits well with fall. And then I grabbed these, which are my sort of my go-to lately for sentiments, because I like the mix of the fonts. But it's got a lot of stuff that, like, wishing you the best everything would work as well. But I think I want to use the Halloween one because I kind of like it better. And then I pulled out, I don't think I'll need this, but I pulled out my brick wall background. But I think I'll just use the paper because then I'll be using things in my stash. But I also pulled these out, which are some really, this is one of the Spellbinders like Better Press sentiment and cutter die thingy combos. But I'm glad I know you. I thought was a really nice sentiment too. There's a lot of heart things that I could do without, but you know, luckily I think they're all confined to one plate, so you don't necessarily need to do all of them. Anyway, if you are a person who sends people cards about your heart, you'd probably like it quite a bit, but that is not a thing I do a ton of. So let's figure out what kind of, I think we definitely need a craft card base. So let me grab some craft and some white and some other things and we can get started. So and I lied. I think we'll use cream. I mean, crafting cream to me is more of a fall vibe. And if you're one of those people who's still in the mood for summer, I appreciate that there are those people out there. But I don't know. It's been kind of a long summer, oddly. Like it heated up relatively quickly. Oh, I had one other thing I wanted to let y'all know because I figured it out. So this 13 Days of Halloween countdown, these folios all contain dye, so that's why this thing is really heavy. I watched somebody else's unboxing, at least enough to understand how this works. So this is starting September 1st ish. Because I don't really want to do Halloween in August, even though I love Halloween. Anyway, let's just cut a panel because we're gonna we want to do a little doodly something on that to fulfill our requirements. Really, a doodle can be as simple as like a faux stitched background, which is usually what I do because that way I can use whatever sentiment I want. We could actually use our Happy Halloween. That would be kind of nice. Especially if we cut another one of these out and like offset it. That would be kind of cool. Anyway, we'll see. And since I'm making my own card base, we can do a top folding A2, which is always better for display type reasons. In my mind, anyway. Then we have extra if we want to die cut anything. I will check the chat in a second. Oh, I should mention, Shanna, who's in the chat, is going live, and we redirect at the top of the hour over to her channel. So if you are interested in more crafting, after we are done, I will be over there, and so will you if you click the YouTube thingy that lets you redirect. Although on my TV it happens automatically, but on my phone it doesn't because YouTube reasons. Anyway, we have our card base. And we may get done early, in which case I have another card I wanted to work on. But I think I'm definitely going to take this because I like it. It has a good, like with all the oranges, it has a good fall vibe to me. And we'll just do a background real fast because that's the cool part about pattern paper. So I think this is going to mat out pretty nicely. Yeah, so I think that's going to be good. That's going to, I think, give a good background. You could actually have not done quite what I did and cut off some of this darker part and have it be a little more not grounded, but I kind of like how it grounds the whole thing. I feel like this is going to be a many pieces card. Oh, yeah. I don't know. Like, I try to at least be semi prepared for lives, but like, I also assume they're going to go off the rails because they generally do. I enjoy it too. I always like, I feel like Shanna's like the professional crafter, and I'm just sort of having fun with it. It does. It does have ocean vibes. And I mean, like, yeah, me too. Living in the Midwest, you don't have oceaniness, which is a little sad sometimes. Um, Also, if I didn't have paper, like this is really easy to do with watercolor. Um, if you want to get complementary colors next to each other, you basically have to let it dry. But if you don't care if the colors bleed together, you can just get your paper wet and then just drop in color and basically get a really nice background pretty quickly. We could do that sometime. We should. I think if you do it on actual watercolor paper, obviously this is super flat and very matte, but um, with like cold press paper, you get a really nice texture that makes it feel a little more arty. You can do the same thing by stamping on fabric, but let's see. So I want to cut this apart. I do want this sort of. I don't really. I think I'm going to cut. Let me undo my dies. And thankfully, Spellbinders doesn't. Leave the dies connected, which is one of my favorite things about them. Although I find putting these on magnets is really good. I have some of the magnets Shanna actually recommended from Cat Scrappiness, which I'm excited to try. So this is basically how big this die is. So we need not a lot of width. I think this is going to work really nicely. Yeah, this is going to be a really good size because we can ground it and then still probably. How tall is this straw if we put it in the glass? It's pretty tall. We may or may not use the straw. We may just do a sediment and stick it down there because I think the straw would be better on a in a 5x7. But I do need to try, and then this basically just sits in here. The other thing you could do is we could just die cut this if we don't want it to be. This is going to be a little more. You'll have a little gap, so depending on if you want that, I think I'm going to use this die. But if you didn't want that, you could obviously ignore it. Then we have a second one. If you So here, right, we have the wire, we have this piece, which is the piece we're going to cut. And then you have sort of your mountainy bits and your sunset bits if you want to do the like as designed. But of course, we're not going to do that because why would I follow the directions? That would be not very me. I'm just going to kind of guesstimate this because I don't know how much space I actually need. But I also don't want to be... Ooh, that's really. This would be really nice as a bookmark. We do still have our fox and our rabbit and our pie, so we could cut these out. Crazy people fussy cut these, but I would use a scan cut because, I enjoy my sanity. But I don't know. I always feel like I should have the year of fussy cutting. I do like these kiddos and the scarecrows. This is really cute. So I am kind of sad I'm losing part of this, but I think. what we can do is basically line this up and be pretty good to go. Let us grab our Magnety thing that is well loved. But this I will probably tape because I would like it to be, you know, straight and not super wonky. I'm going to also try and... so obviously this path is not straight, but I'm going to try and at least keep this... I want to put the horizon line kind of at the a third of the way down, which is a visual arts thing, but you obviously can do whatever you want. But I'm going to tape this down with mint tape because I don't want to mangle the paper. As you know, I love the Best Ever Craft tape for taping things to my ScanNCut mat, which is awful. But it also has a tendency to mangle your paper. So we do this one and then figure out, we could do the glass in craft, which I'm not opposed to, because it would kind of match the background. But I'm also kind of thinking maybe we could get out the sadly discontinued copper foil paper from Michaels, which was one of my favorite metallics. I think that would be kind of cool to do a metallic glass, or we could do gray, or craft, or whatever. One of those things. But the nice thing about this tape is, like, it is not going to mess up your thing. And we actually, I think, did pretty well on that cutting. Let me see if I can find the paper I was mentioning. And we do have a few things. We basically lost this whole piece, which is a little sad, but, you know, it happens. How are my fur babies? Quite well. I was off Friday, so they had more of me this weekend. Actually, taking Friday off was a really good idea because I just felt really grounded today, which was nice. But actually, the original has navy, which I don't hate. We could use that super duper dark navy. That's not called navy, but whatever. It has a somewhat silly name. Silent Sea, I think. I don't understand why. So, like, this is my favorite navy. This is the other color, but I think this would actually work as sort of a fall color. So let's open it up. But the cats are good. They've been very friendly all weekend. They are, I think, napping because they had dinner. I don't know where Lennox is at. I think Lennox is still upstairs somewhere. Yeah, I think both my cats are upstairs. But I think this would be a nice glass color. And I think we can just wing it in terms of size here, because I think 3-ish inches should be fine. And then we will get like an extra little bit, I think. Like we'll get another inside, which will be nice. But this one I'm not going to bother taping because, the die is pretty chunky, so I think the magnet will be fine. But I'm not really trying to line it up. But the cats are good. It was generally a pretty good weekend. I've had several friends who have had various medical things happen in the last couple of weeks that have been not super awesome. And here's our bonus piece that we can save for another project. So I don't know. It was nice to have a nothing crazy happening sort of weekend. And my folks are fine. These were friends that I've had for, I don't know, 20 years at this point. So it was a little not awesome. you want more details on that, it's in Elizabeth's Discord, which you can join. If you don't want more details on that, I appreciate that. So anyway, so let's see how this lines up. I do like this die. This die is really pretty. And then I think the only tricky part is going to be lining this up and not mangling it. Whoop, like that. But I think this is a very, the die we're gluing to is pretty fine. So I think that will be, let's just bring in some white because that will allow us to see this a lot easier. But I think I can just put glue around the edge and then go from there. Oh, hey, Gloria. Nice to see you. Oh, have a good one. Nice to see you, Christina. Yeah, I don't know. I like food as well. I had we were gonna do a fun little thing with my folks, but some of us had cake earlier. Well, that's not really the reason. The weather was not super lovely, so we decided not to risk it. So we did a lasagna at home, which was also quite nice. I'm just going to flip this. I put a little more glue than I needed, but that's going to be good. I'm using a new glue, so we will see if we like the new glue. To date, it's been quite nice. It's also PVA. It's just whatever it is. It's the Nuvo glue. But I like this. I like this dark. I think this dark will work. I do like this composition though, because like this blue kind of blends in, but then you have sort of like an in focus piece and a not in focus piece. Anyway, let us. I bet we could do the straw and put the straw behind. Well, let's figure out how big let's kind of stamp the sentiment and cut a banner and see how we feel about that. Because I'm sure I have. Oh, look, I have extra cream. Let me just cut this down because I don't need anywhere near this much. Boop. Grab the stamp wheel and maybe we will have a blast from the past and use. I ran across one of my favorite other ink colors recently that now I'm not seeing. Oh well. Which is Twilight, which is one of the best ink colors ever. Let me see where I put my. Oh, here's the stamp set. That is not Twilight. Oh, here it is. So here's Twilight, which is a fantastic ink color. If you like, and I think will actually work here because I want something pretty vibrant and yeah. I don't think I'm going to try and sort of offset this and hope I do it. Okay, I think that text is right side up. I kind of want it to be, I want enough space where I can do an actual banner. And I could cheat in a number of ways to make this easier to deal with from making a banner, because maybe I will make a Happy Boo from me to you. I may or may not do like the actual fishtail banner, because sometimes I cheat and just cut it off at a diagonal. And that stamped out fabulously. Because it's VersaFine Clear, and VersaFine Clear is a fantastic ink to stamp with. Unfortunately, my Baby wipes dried out, but not beyond the ability to get ink off, which is nice. And here's my stamp set. But this is I think now retired, not too shabby one, but this is the Whatever Spices Your Pumpkin, which is, I think, my all-time favorite. Fallish? Because it's like kind of Halloween. I mean, because it's got a witch hat and broom on it, but in theory, you could mask that stuff out if you're not a Halloween person. And I guess I should apologize if you're not a Halloween person, because there's going to be we're going to unbox that whole Halloween thing on the channel at some point. So there may be times that you're not particularly thrilled with me, but that's okay. Let's just cut this down and decide what we want to do. I'm still thinking I don't really have enough room on this card to do the straw thing. Well, to mirror the thingy on the thingy is the wrong word. To mirror the example, I'm just going to cut a little off the back here so this matches. And then what we can do, I think I'm just going to let's see where we put our card panel. Not there. Oh, it's here. I like having this in the center. Yeah, I think I just kind of want to cut it off at sort of a similar place. Let's just diagonal it because I can. And you can do this at whatever angle you want, obviously. But, oh, that came out pretty well. So I'm going to just stick this on the side of the card, I think. It would be neat if we had a little ghosty to, put up here, wouldn't it? Anyway, so I think we'll do that. And then that'll mirror, what we can do is do a similar thing. So we have our glass, we have our thinking of you sentiment. I think all that we really need to do is, I kind of like it I think that'll be good. Then we just have to doodle something on our inside panel and we'll be pretty good to go. And we have lots of time left, so we can work on a Halloween card. But I'm going to just grab a pen if I have one. That's not a pen. Here we go. I think I'll just doodle in a little faux stitched border. Let me see what y'all are talking about because I was distracted by die cutting. Nap. I like naps. I don't know. You've been doing a lot of shorts. If you haven't been watching Elizabeth's channel, I think she's done shorts of some of her Twitch endeavors, which have been pretty interesting. Thanks, Gloria. I hadn't thought of that, but that's a good idea, Jim. Let's do that. Because I think we can pop up it would be interesting, I think, to since we have all this, I think you could pop it up. That's I like that as an idea. Okay, let's do that. We can flip it over and put tape on the back, but let me just cheat. And I don't know if it counts as a doodling, but I'm going to doodle in sort of a faux stitched border here. I don't know what makes a doodle and not a something else, but I mean, obviously it's craft roulette, and you can come up with your own rules anytime you want. But this is also a good way if you don't have a die with a stitched border and you want a stitched border because your other dies have a stitched border. You can always just sort of sketch one in. And in the in a composition where you do have stitched borders going on, like you actually don't notice it as much as you would think you would. Like you'd think that like the doodled in border would be really in your face, but it usually isn't. There we go. I kind of like that. But let's get this part down. I did fix my ATG gun since last we met. Well, not really. I just ripped the tape out, or the cat did. We're not sure. But we can get this going on our card. Then look at our taping options. There we go. Ooh, I like that. I mean, not that that's a surprise, but I think we could I think we can put foam tape behind this part and pop it out. And I think that'll be a really interesting presentation because it will really kind of set it out. And I got new Fiskars nonstick scissors, which do a lot better job than my other scissors did of not sticking to foam tape, which I'm a fan of. I guess I won't put it there. We'll just put it there for now. I still have my super big roll of foam tape, which I'm still going through. There's that, and then I'll just stick this other piece here, and I think that'll work. Yeah, I think that'll be really neat. It'll give you a little bit of a shadow layer. And you could, if you want to, obviously, like cut a half-size piece, but I don't think we'll really need it because we're not elevating everything. But this last piece does not want to come up. There we go. Last, foam tape release paper didn't really want to release. But I'm going to, what we can do is actually sort of break our perspective a little bit. There we go. Now I do want to glue down this bottom part of the glass. But I like this. This is a good idea, Jim. I like that we get kind of this shadow here, which makes it look really, it makes it pop a little bit more. Thank you. I always appreciate you have good ideas for things. I like it. I like how it looks in focus and the rest of this looks out of focus. Although I don't know how reasonable it is. I guess I want to pop this up too. This I think I can cheat and get away with. Well, let's. Oh, I just used the wrong scissors. Don't do that. Don't use your non-sticky scissors for sticky stuff. But I think we can just semi-cheat and just make one that's kind of the same size and get away with that. I think it'll be fine. Lennox is here to say hello to you all. And then I'm going to just sort of align this with the edge, and I think we'll be good. Yeah, I like that. Well, it might need a little bling. I feel like it needs a little something, something. See if we have any autumnal bling, but we can get this part on the inside first in case we wind up using sticky stuff. We could also use some of our... Oh, hello. Goodbye. You saw Lennox, he was briefly here. There we go. We could also... I guess we don't have... Do we have anything that would be easy to fussy cut out? Not really. But we could make another banner out of this, which would be kind of cool on the inside. So I think I'll do that. Especially this part that has more pumpkins. I'll just do 3/4 inches because I think that'll work here. And that part goes off, and then we can just cut off this part that we don't need. And I think we can just mirror our original cut for a little inside piece. Add a little fun. I think there's so much fall on this card, I don't actually need an inside sentiment, but you can always add one later, obviously. There's that. Let me grab a bold folder and just help the fold a little bit. So I think we could use some bling down this side. So let me see if I have... maybe some copper sequins, I think, would look nice. They're a little something for me, though. We do have some black. Ooh, I do like these. I like these brown ones. Like these right here. I think that would be kind of nice. That's a good option. Anything else comes to mind? We do have some sort of opaly ones that would be cool. These are more water to me, though. I kind of like the brown. Oh, hey, Ann. How are you? I hope you are well. I hope it is a reasonable hour in your country to be having a live. I thought of you. I was thinking of using your the coffees you got me for Shanna's new die set that she was showing with Halloween stuff. Although I can't quite justify it because I'm like, I have a whole advent calendar of Spellbinders Halloween stuff, so do I really need more? I mean, no, but I might buy it anyway. But I do like these. Like, I like this. I think this helps this quite a bit. And we could actually, you could doodle in something. But I love this. I like this floating thing. This was a good idea. That was a good idea, Jim. I think that's really cool. And I like the sentiment. And then happy boo for me to you. And then the inside is the inside. So I think I'm going to leave it here. And then put the cap on my glue. I actually broke my glue bottle again. Go me. But luckily last time I got KB Riley replacement glue bottles, I got a lot of the needle. I got like 5 of the needles and like 2 of the bottles. And the bottles don't go bad. Unless you like puncture them or something. But I should buy more needles because I keep going through them when basically what happens is I'll like leave it open all day, you know, for a day or so when it's dry out, and then it'll be a little not so spectacular later. Anyway, I don't think there's anything too out of the usual this week. I'll definitely be back here on Sunday. We might do some project videos in between, depending. I don't think it's going to be a tremendously busy week, so I don't know. We might do something unscheduled and fun. But this was my craft roulette card, and I thank you for joining me. We were done a little bit early, so you may have time to get snacks before Shanna starts doing whatever she has planned. I didn't actually check, but I'm sure it will be something fabulous. If you want to watch things in the meantime, her Simon Hurley Halloween collection videos are fantastic. I don't know. Did you do any, Elizabeth? Elizabeth is also on Simon Hurley's design team, so she may or may not have videos on her channel with those, which are pretty cool. Oh, that cuckoo clock looks freaking neat. The cuckoo clock looks really cool. Anyway, I'm excited to see that. It looked like a die that had 50 million pieces, but in not a hard to use way. But there are dies like this one that don't have 50 million pieces. So if you're more of a not a bunch of pieces die person, there's a lot of Spellbinders options. Anyway, it was great to see you. I will see you hopefully later this week. Or if not, I'll see you next Sunday if I, for some reason, don't wind up doing anything. But I think there's a good chance that we'll be able to hang out and probably play and work on some pink Halloween cards because it was heavily suggested to me that there are some people who would like a pink Halloween card. So I actually have some leftover paper from a couple years ago from the Pink and Cute, Not Too Shabby paper that I think would be really cool with the same sketch, but I think we can use big pieces of ephemera as opposed to actual circles. Anyway, good to see you. I will talk to you later and have a fantastic week.